Hey you guys, what's up? It's the Anime Blaze coming back again with my anime review of Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence. This movie right here. And man, let me tell you that right off of the bat, I freaking didn't have any idea what to expect from this movie. I was told from different random sources that it was a direct sequel to the first movie. Then I was told on other occasions that it was its own standalone movie. And then basically, let me just tell you what I found out from my own personal experience. This movie is pretty much, in a way, it is a sequel to the first movie, but it only has its own loose ties to the first movie. So if you haven't seen the first movie, you won't get the random subtle references back to the first movie, uh, like password 2501 and them talking about the major and her vanishing into the net and everything like that. You won't get the references to that unless you watch the first movie. I don't know if what I just said was a spoiler, but hey, you haven't seen it yet, have you? but uh, but yeah. Anyway, let me get on to the plot of the movie. But so the plot and my favorite parts about it, and what I loved about it. Okay, so the plot. This movie revolves around the all the events that happened after the first movie, but loosely because it's based off of the manga and everything too, so you can't really take that too much into account. But anyway, the story revolves around Bato and Togusa, who is now partnered with Bato after the major has been, pretty much disappeared. And the new case that they're handling is the case of these androids or robots, or no, more or less dolls that have been handed off to these random people or different people, and eventually they have been killed by them. And of course, we later find out that the case of this is because of, once again, Ghost in the Shell here, that they have developed a ghost or a soul, which isn't really not too uncommon in Ghost in the Shell. It's the whole aspect that it's supposed to be exploring, um, something that's given personality and everything like that, developing its developing its own soul. In this case, a ghost, and actually having all the signs that it is definitely alive, which is kind of creepy. But yeah, they're investigating this case and they're led left and right to try to figure this out. And eventually they do solve the case, which a lot of weird stuff happens in the 1 hour and 40 minutes that this movie takes place. So my one question that I have is that you probably have is, did I enjoy this movie? Yes, yes, I actually did enjoy the second movie. I mean, it wasn't anything of what I expected from the first one, but it had its own storyline. It was standalone from the first one, which in a lot of cases, most of the time, it doesn't work. But in this case, it worked out perfectly. And man, the plot. I think that the one thing that I freaking loved about this movie was the fact of how, instead of being told like any other Ghost in the Shell storyline, instead of almost all the time being told from the Major's perspective, it was told from Bato's perspective. In which case, we get a whole darker toned, um, don't cut off. What's the word I'm looking for? Dark, edgy, and in a way depressing storyline that you wouldn't normally get from the Major's perspective. See, from the Major's perspective, you mostly get kind of like a philosophical kind of thing. Bato goes a little bit into philosophy, but not much. He's just tough, gritty, straight up to the point, which is what I like about his character on anything that's Ghost in the Shell related. But yeah, it just the way he's like, in a way, I guess you could say he's like an anti-hero, but not really an anti-hero. You'd have to see it to see what I'm talking about. It's just Bato. That's all you need to know is just Bato. But aside from the way, the viewpoint that the story is being told, I also like the way that the visuals definitely were a step up, or they were good in my own opinion. Um, I was and I recently also found out that Ghost in the Shell 2 had Blu-ray releases and DVD releases. I got the good copy from Bandai DVD release. And let me tell you straight off of the bat that you won't need the Blu-ray copy if you get the DVD copy. The visuals are that good. All you need is like the right settings, like pretty much a good TV that you could get this on, like good picture quality, and it's not fuzzy and it doesn't look like it's stretched or anything. And maybe even a Blu-ray player that can convert DVDs to HD if you have an HDMI cable and everything like that. I can upscale it because that's all you really need. There's no sense in going out of your way to try to search and find the Blu-ray copy of this because, quite honestly, DVD is all you're really gonna need. That's coming from the guy who actually watched this movie and like straight up, it looked good. That's all I can really say. Presentation, characters, man. If I had to say anything about this movie, like, that I could just follow up from the first one, you already got a good classic right here. It's a good classic. You can't really beat it. The only thing I would say that I could possibly say is good, again, about this one, is that it's a follow-up to something that's good, that's already a classic, a storyline that you already know, and it's standalone. You can just watch it right off of the bat. But yeah, I don't want to go on and just keep going on about the same stuff over and over again. I'll let you guys watch the movies for yourself, and then we could talk about it whenever I do my Ghost in the Shell live stream this week or the upcoming week. Because I really want you guys to see this. And if you guys are wondering where you can watch these movies at, search the internet. Trust me, you can find it. And if you actually want to buy the movie, whatever you do, don't get the DreamWorks version of the movie. They screwed up the subtitles. I'll just say that. So with that being said, this is the Anime Blaze signing out, saying never doubt your capabilities because you never know what you might be able to do. And watch Ghost in the Shell, people. It's a good movie. The sequel, it's good in the visual department as well as the way the story is being told. And it's just a good follow-up from where the first one left off. Although the first one does beat out the second one by a huge, fans. Just by I don't know, you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys later in whatever it may be happening that I decide to do. Sounds like it's pouring outside. Anyways, later.